Yo, what up, guys? Welcome to this video where I talk about the first half of Season 8 of Game of Thrones. We just watched Episode 3 last night, and I figured I wanted to talk about my thoughts on the series. Well, not the series, but this season specifically, and then I'll make another video talking about the second half. Of course, there will be spoilers ahead, so click away if you don't want to hear anything about Game of Thrones so far, or if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, I don't know why you clicked on this video, but you've been warned. To start, let's talk about Episode 1 real quick. In this episode, I feel like we didn't really get much in this episode, but it felt necessary in terms of our 2-year wait. I don't really remember if it was 2 years, but however long we had to wait for this season, it felt like we just needed a little ease into it. The characters were reuniting, like Arya and Jon, and we finally get to be confirmed, and we finally have confirmed Jon Snow's parentage, which as audience members, we already knew that, but I guess we needed the characters to know that. But other than that, I don't think there really was anything else of significance in that episode, other than us seeing them prepare for what's to come, the big battle, getting their armies together. So that was really all I had to talk about for Episode 1. I might be missing some stuff, but moving on. In Episode 2, it also felt really insignificant to me. There was a few key moments for characters which were great, but as an audience member, knowing what's to come, I just kind of spent my entire time in the episode waiting for the fight, as opposed to me sitting there being like, okay, great. Like, they're all sitting around, they're dealing with, they might die in this war that's to come, which was great for the characters, like I said, like Brienne getting knighted, great for the character. As an audience member, I felt myself not really caring too much, okay, yes, great for you. You're knighted, you're being recognized as a knight now, but also like you're about to fight an army of dead people. Who really cares if you're knighted or not? Also, that one Arya scene that you know what I'm talking about was a little awkward because we watched the character grow up since season 1, so it was just a little strange to see that. I get for a character standpoint, she's about to go into battle. This whole time she was basically training to be this like assassin, and now this is like finally a human moment for her that she's having. But the whole episode felt really strange leading up to that. Just the way Arya was acting, she was still in like her like assassin mode, I guess. The way she was talking with Gendry and like, where's my weapon? Have you built my weapon? And even like when Gendry entered the room, she was practicing and stuff. So it just felt a little strange how she went into it, as opposed to like more emotion. It just felt really emotionless. Like, okay, I'm about to die. I've never had it before. I've never had like sex before, so let me just see what that's like. And finally, I think another key point in the episode was Jon Snow telling Daenerys that he is also a Targaryen. One thing I want to point out is how come nobody's talking about the fact that she is his aunt? Like, no one seemed to have addressed that. I don't know if it's just because in this world it doesn't really matter, but they made a big deal about Jaime and Cersei like having sex with each other and their brother and sister, but maybe like that's not okay. But if different branch of family, I don't know how this works, but like no one has addressed that. Maybe they will in the future, but so far this first half of the season, they haven't even like had a thought about that. It was more Jon being told he was a Targaryen. He was like, oh no, that can't be true. And then Sam telling him, yes, it's true. And he was like, oh, well, what do we do now? And then when he tells Daenerys is more concerned, like, you have a claim to the throne now. So for her, I don't know if that's going to lead into something, if there's going to be some kind of betrayal, or she's going to worry more about that she's not going to get the throne. Or is it about the love that they have with each other? I don't know. There's going to be something there. Like Daenerys that's gonna affect her in some way, I think. So I am curious to see what comes of that, but let's move on. So Episode 3, the one I've been waiting for all season until I guess after like the second half of the season, but the first half, this episode was what I was waiting for. This was an epic episode. There were so many amazing moments in this episode. I can't even begin to just talk about them all. I'm just going to pick a few moments that I enjoyed. Before that, I know a lot of people complained that the episode was too dark. I didn't have a problem viewing it, but I think it might be because I have an HDR 4K television. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I did understand it was dark. I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is dark scenes, but it was nighttime, so it made sense. I don't know how they could light it in a way that would be brighter for a nighttime battle, other than candlelit stuff, and fire, which basically, I mean, that's what they had going for them. Okay, so for starters, I think 90% of this episode, all I kept saying was, holy shit, everybody's gonna die. Every time I saw the horde of whites on screen show up, and there's like thousands of them compared to like the hundreds of the people at Winterfell, I was like, that's it, they're all dead. Like, there's no way that people are surviving. It was crazy. Had me on the edge of my seat every single time I saw the horde on the screen. Seeing Winterfell get overrun by them was crazy, and I knew people were gonna die. And I'm just gonna talk about a few of those deaths. Lyanna Mormont's death was great for the character. It was awesome to see her as like the littlest badass take on a giant, but that was great. And I guess I didn't realize till now, but the other Mormont died. Jorah Mormont also died. I didn't make that connection that both the Mormonts had died. Anyway, so Jorah dying, protecting Daenerys was great for the character as well. Like, he wanted to be her protector, like basically the whole season, and he got a chance to do that in like the greatest moment. It's honestly crazy to me that this is a TV show. Like, this is insane. A few problems I did have with this episode was I thought there was going to be more of a battle between I guess Jon or anybody really, and the Night King. It was a little disappointing that the Night King showed up and died from Arya stabbing. Like, great, Arya, that was a great moment for Arya, but for the Night King, I just felt like just him getting stabbed once and the entire horde is dead just seemed a little cheap to me. I wanted to see some kind of battle. I also don't really understand what the deal is with the relationship between the Night King and Bran. They might have explained it somewhere in earlier seasons, but I guess I just don't have a clear understanding of what that is. Maybe they'll explain it later, but like, Bran has just been sitting around in his wheelchair, staring and having emotionless conversations with people. So I don't know what's going to come of that, but that's been annoying me so far, and I don't know what to think about that. Well, overall, I felt like this episode was probably one of the greatest feats in television. Like, this felt like a chunk of a movie, and this is TV. It's crazy. That's nuts. That's why I love this TV show. But it was awesome, this first half. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the second half with Cersei. It's going to be crazy. I think most of Daenerys' army is gone because of this fight. And Cersei's just been sitting there, and she has the Golden Company waiting. So, I mean, I don't know who's going to live. I don't know who's going to die. It's going to be crazy. I don't know who's going to be sitting on the throne. If you guys have any theories about who you think's going to sit on the throne, or any comments about this episode, or actually, I guess I talked about the first 3 episodes. So the first 3 episodes, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.